Flugzeug has been gesichtet. Let's dive. I had just popped up to replenish my air supplies, and almost instantaneously a Flugzeug was gesichtet. And as some commenters have commented, it's probably to do with the Allies' use of radar. I don't know where it is though. Langsam.
Derzeitige Tiefe 1-0.
I think it was quite far away when we spotted it, so no dangers.
Derzeitige Tiefe 2-0.
Here it is. Meow. Meow.
Derzeitige Tiefe 3-0.
Yeah, we should be safe. It does mean we're going to have to stay under the waves until it becomes dark time again. But since we're down to our last 4 torpedoes, I'm not too worried about my oxygen supply. So we should be okay. Alright, so I'm going to continue onwards to my destination here and see what we encounter. Okay, we have encountered an interesting marker on our map. Now normally the circle, the line coming out of it, is a submarine. Now this is saying that there's an enemy submarine reported heading this way, which is unusual. But I believe I have had previous instances where this has turned out not to be a submarine, but to in fact be some kind of convoy. And I think that's what this may be. So I think it's best to check it out, just to see what it is. Let's get my notes and see if we can calculate some kind of intercept course. Right then, it's going at medium speed, so I'm going to say that's about 8 knots. Now we need to do this U-boat to target, to the target course, like so. Now we measure the target's speed, so it'll go 8 knots like that. And let's just wait until we've, there we go, just to make sure we know how fast we can go. Then we take this bad boy, and from this point we measure out our speed. So we're going about 14 knots, so let's go for 13. Give us a 1 knot leeway. Now take this from the center of the circle to the point where the circle crosses the line that we drew here, and then back to the target, 33 degrees. So we therefore need to lead this target by 33 degrees. So we do this, measure out 33 degrees, which means we need to go this a ways. So let's do that. Get rid of this, do this and that, and there we go. So in theory this should be our intercept point with whatever this happens to be. So let's speed up time and see what we can see. We should get there before the target reaches there, so we've got a little time to prepare ourselves. So we might not see anything at first.
Schiff gesichtet.
Well, okay, submarine spotted. What in 341? Well, I can just see the merest faint outline of a thing, if I can get my mouse to steady up, around there, just above where the crosshair is pointing. You probably won't be able to see that, but it appears that it is an enemy submarine. Now this is interesting. Do I attempt to sink an enemy submarine? I'd like to get close to it just to get a better look. See what it is. I mean, I would assume this would have to be an American submarine. What it's doing out on the east coast in the Atlantic Ocean is anyone's guess. Maybe it's doing some training, or it's wiggling around so it spotted us. I wonder, can we man the deck gun? We cannot man the deck gun. Oops. Can't man the deck gun, so we can't get into a deck gun battle with it. Let's just try to get closer to it and see what happens. I imagine if it's got a gun, it's going to start firing at us. There it is. How weird. So it's behaving just like the game would have any normal enemy ship contact behave, which is just to wiggle around, and that does indeed look like an American submarine. I recognise it from the venerable Effingcontroller's Silent Hunter 4 playthroughs. What type of what class of boat this is, I do not know, because I don't know very much about American submarines. I guess it doesn't look too big, so it might be one of these the sugar boats, so the smaller, crappier type of American sub. It does indeed have a deck gun. It doesn't appear to want to use it. Well, I guess it can't use it because it's in rough waters. I'm just thinking about maybe I could ram it, but I don't know if that would be a good idea. The only thing we could do is, can we even man the flak gun? No, we can't. So we've got no choice. There's no way we can attack this guy. The only thing I guess we could do is send a contact report, just warn any other German ships, planes. There won't be any planes around out here, but yeah, just to say, hey look, there's an American submarine, watch out. Well, how interesting. I don't know why that's out here. Anyway, may as well just leave it alone. I guess it will have radioed in our details, so we better get out of here and head back to my original patrol area. Let's see. We want to be around here-ish, I think. You see the big CA grid where New York is, and we want that black line going southeast, and that kind of intersects around here-ish. So I'm going to head over here. Get a search pattern. See what we can find. I better dive as well because I'm likely to have an enemy plane heading this way. Alright, so yeah, first encounter with an American submarine, which we could not attack. There it is, a warship. Alright, so back on my course. See you in a bit. Aha! Finally, we have a merchant contact. Yeah, I've been sailing around here for quite some time, encountering nothing. Nichts, nichts, nichts. And now I appear to have picked up a merchant contact. So, let's mark it on the map. Closing, bearing 255. Alright, let's head north then. Let's see which way this guy's going. Well, there's two of them, at least. And it looks like they're kind of heading... I don't know which one I marked now, but I think they're heading east, definitely. How far away? Should be pretty far away, yeah. Pretty far away. Let's try and intercept them. I'm going to assume they're kind of going on this direction. It is daytime, so we do run the risk of air contacts, but it is also very clear and bright, so we should be able to spot them in plenty of time. So I'm not too concerned about that. Right now, I just want to get a visual contact of these. Oh, here we go. Oh, they're not. They're going this way. I was completely wrong. They're heading this ways. .338. Yep, there they are. Quite faint, but still I can see them. And they're probably going to see me pretty quickly. Given the conditions. So I can't get too close. So let's head on a parallel course. And just try and track them for a little while. And then we can gradually get a little bit closer. Until we get in a position to fire. It's still early morning, so although ideally we should really track these guys until it gets night time, I am getting impatient, so I would like to attack them as soon as possible. Which is not a realistic thing for a U-boat captain to do, but what the hell. Okay, we can afford to get a little bit closer. And hopefully, as long as they don't change course, we should be in a good position here. And we should pick them up on our hydrophones pretty soon as well. And we have indeed. There they are. Okay, so now it's just a case of waiting until they get a little bit closer. Have they changed course? Very slightly. It looks like they're a little bit further away than my ruler marking is suggesting, so let's creep forwards a little bit. That should do. Oh, maybe they're quite a lot farther away. Something more like this. So we can get closer still. do it. Okay, so they're on about 285. It's 11:26 on July the 8th. We've got a nice couple of targets here. Let's see if we can try and identify them. Might be a bit difficult at this angle. I don't think they're troop transports. They're not tankers. They both look as though they might be merchants. No. No. Large cargo. I think that might be pretty good, at least for the first target. I'm going to say yes to that for now. This one looks smaller. It looks like it could be a Liberty. It's a bit far out to tell exactly, but it has that kind of T-shaped mast, I think. At least one of them. It might have two in the front. I don't know though. No, I think it's an ore carrier, and then we're getting into the littler boats. I don't think it's any of these. So we've made a preliminary estimate of what they are, so we can afford to let them get a little bit closer and prepare my notes. That should be close enough. Let's go to the attack scope now. Now, is this a large cargo? That is the question. I'm doubting myself now. There's a mast at the front here which doesn't appear to show on here, so it could be a medium. I think it might be a medium. In fact, I think it is a medium. You're a medium. What are you? Liberty. Does that still hold? I don't think it does. It's only got one mast at the front. Granville type freighter. I think that's what this is. I think it's a Granville. You're a Granville. And you're a medium. So the Granville's 4,600 tons. Medium is a little bit more. I have two torpedoes at my disposal. I think the best thing to do would be to fire both of them at the medium. So let's see if we can get a reading on this guy. Okay, range. Count the vertical marks. That is 3 and a bit, 3.5-ish. So we take 3.5 here, put it to the top line. Mast height 20.8. That puts it about 20.8. Am I 20.8? Yeah, 20.8. So about there. So that's about 2,000 meters away, which seems good. Now we can do the angle on bow. Take this range thingy, line it up with the ship length, 140. Blah blah blah. There. Horizontal marks, about 18. So 18 marks, 15, 16, 17, 18, puts it about 50 degrees. That also seems good to me, 50 degrees there. And now the speed. Seems to be going pretty slowly. We can lower the mast a bit to make sure we're not spotted given these clear conditions. while we're doing that, we can set up the depth. So let's go magnetic. 9.7 is the depth, so we can set it about just over 10. And let's go for 2 magnetics, why not? Do I want them? Yes, I do in fact want them to go fast because of the conditions. And I've moved the mouse. Bollocks! Okay, stop. Let's try this again. I moved the mouse. Let's just speed time up just to help things along. And now 45 seconds. Okay, so line up the time on the mid outer dial, which is this one, 45 here, with the ship length 140 here, and that gives us a speed of about 6 knots. I think that sounds pretty good. Alright, so we're about ready. Just need to remember to do a final range calculation when we're ready to fire. And that will be when it gets to around 350 degrees. No sound contact, are you crazy? Thank you. And now it's just a case of waiting. And when it gets to about 3, 4, 5, we'll pop periscope up again. Oh, my sound guy was following the wrong contact. God's sake. Okay, well, never mind. Here we go. Off they go. Should still be good. It's a bit of a slightly weird angle to fire on. You want to get it as close to 0 as possible, preferably, but we should still be good. Let's just hope they go off. And you can shut up as well, you useless sound man. Tracking the wrong ship. Here they go. Looks good. Maybe a little bit. Well, no.
Torpedoes.
Boom! And here comes boom number 2. Couple of good hits. It was a good thing actually I went for magnetics, because at that angle they may well have bounced off the hull if there were impacts, and we have stopped its silly little propeller. It is now dead in the water, and you can see the marks there where my torpedo has gone off and the little bubbles coming out, which means I don't know what. Oh, okay, they managed to get it going again. Good job. And we have a fire on board, and now this guy is going to be wiggling around for his life. Wiggle wiggle like a big black snake. That's a Dylan reference. Okay, good. So we should have a ship in the bag here. It should only be a matter of time before it before it is enveloped by the waves. In the meantime, I'm going to continue onwards this way and keep track of this guy, and I can lower my periscope as well. They're still both going, although one appears to be going faster than the other, and one is completely stopped now. Yep, there it is. It is immobile, and it seems to be a little lower in the water, though. Yeah, maybe a slight list to port or starboard or whatever direction it is listing in. And this guy is still sailing onwards, so let's keep going. Now I have two choices of choice number one, sticking around here and making sure this guy actually sinks, or choice number two, following this guy so we can catch up with him and attack when it gets dark. I guess I know which direction he's going in anyway, so there's no need to stick with him. So we may as well just wait for a bit and make sure this medium cargo does indeed bite the dust. Dub, dub, dub. Another ship bites the dust.